Well, we have a tweet and it's from the usual suspect and it's about women in gaming. Let's read it together, let's break it down, and let's just critically analyze the discussion. Women in the FGC are the ugly girls from high school that never got the attention they desperately wanted. That's a real targeted thing to say, Dalton. That's a real blanket statement to make. I wonder what information you're basing that on. Hopefully, it's not personal experience of you being the ugly person from high school and never getting the attention that you desperately wanted, but let's continue. Their crushes didn't want them. The hot chicks talk shit about them. Invisible. For me personally, I can't stand it when someone like makes a point and then follows it up with like one word, like da 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 destruction. Like that's so annoying. Why do they talk like this? Y'all know who I'm talking about. I don't have to name it. Well, why are they like that specifically? Now that they're older, they got a bit more attractive, still ugly compared to normal society. Bitch, you play fighting games. What the hell do you know about normal society? What? And use the FGC to seek attention from awkward dorks in a niche community to fill that empty void from high school. First off, why are you still stuck in high school? I mean, I get it. High school is where we had our formative experiences. But number two, why are you labeling the entire FGC as a bunch of awkward dorks? You are not part of normal society. They won't claim you. They're not. They're gonna look at you and think you are just as weird and dorky as everybody else in the FGC. Around 2016, you'd be surprised how many of these e-girls would sleep around with top players for free flights to events. Now, I'm just saying, if I could sleep with somebody and they would give me a plane flight to, Evo, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's still happening. Who hurt him? I feel like we're at the point in the conversation where we can ask ourselves, who hurt him? Who hurt you? What was her name? What was her name? How long did you like? You had a crush on her, didn't you? You did. And then, yeah, I feel you. Not really, because I'm not like this. Not to mention, now 90% of the e-girls in the FGC want to funnel their OnlyFans fans leads to these desperate FGC losers. Look, I'm not gonna hold you. I absolutely believe with all of my heart that there is some girl, entrepreneurial, business-minded girl out there who has centered in on the niche of male gamers who unfortunately believe the lie that they're not attractive, that no one will ever find them attractive, and that the only thing that they could ever do is pay money to someone's OnlyFans to see them undressed when there are 7 billion people on the face of the earth. If even 1% of them are interested in you, your chances are of finding someone are like so huge. Like, we've got to stop that with men specifically. Men specifically, there's this scarcity mindset out there like you'll never be loved. That's not true. You have to stop trying to date women in a way where you're trying to be nice and meet all of their needs. That doesn't mean be an asshole. It means have boundaries and a spine. It means know what your morals are, know what your principles are, know what you will and will not do, be able to say your opinions, be able to say your preferences, and don't say yes to everything that she says for the simple fact of you don't want to disappoint or upset her. If you do that, you'll find yourself meeting women who are a lot nicer, who are, there's a lot of give and take, there's back and forth, and you'll stop meeting women that are manipulative and just want to walk all over you, such that now the red pill incel stuff feels like it makes sense to you, but it's simply because you keep meeting the same woman with the same face over and over and over again because you aren't doing anything different. But I digress. Women in the FGC are either e-girls or trans, and then in parentheses, of course, because we have to have transphobia, not women. Get women out of gaming. How do you, I don't know. I can't think of ever getting to a place where I could have such a, like, an unconscious take about something. Like, this is, how do you even get here? How do you even get here? How do you even get to this place where this is something that you would say and tweet? Like, where did we go in the world to where you would tweet this openly into the public and say something so stupid? It's so stupid. It's so stupid. It would be funny completely if there weren't other people who also thought this way too. Video games are for everyone. They are. There is a video game for every age group, for every demographic, from every background, for every identity. There is a game out there for someone. And it's always a very specific group of gamers. And we know who they are. When you tell them who they are, then they get mad about it. But there's a very specific group of gamers who feel entitled to every single game that comes out, such that if it does not meet their requirements, if it isn't tailored to them, if the protagonist doesn't look like them, or if the protagonist isn't portrayed in a way that glorifies the way they've always been represented in gaming, they get upset. And that same group of gamers hates women. And this is clearly just misogyny. This is clearly someone who hates the idea and the concept of women. Like, I want nothing more in my life than to find someone or a group of someone, since I'm polyamorous, but to find someone who plays fighting games and to just be in a relationship with them. How amazing would that be? You have someone where y'all are, and have them be at equal or better skill level, hopefully better than me. Hopefully it's like iron sharpening iron and we just play back and like, could you imagine having something like that in your relationship? Someone where you could sit down with and play a game and enjoy each other's company, and that's how you share space with each other. Why would you want to get women out of gaming? And another thing that's always interesting is people who say stuff like this. There was a study, I don't have it quoted directly, but basically what they found was that men who say these sorts of things or like get into lobbies like Call of Duty lobbies and say things like women get out, go back to the kitchen and stuff like that, the skill level of those men is scientifically proven is always very low. Like they're usually people who are bad at the game and they feel threatened by the fact that there is a woman out there who is better than them. Like this is the most ridiculous take that you could possibly have. Like I don't know how he would make this any stupider. I really don't. And just the fact that again, he has free speech. I don't he deleted the tweet. I guess he couldn't take the smoke. Has free speech. But I just couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine being this starved for the attention of women. Like it's amazing to me. Women in the FGC are the ugly girls from high school that never got the attention that they desperately wanted. What a story, bro. What a story. The gaming industry, the gaming community, all communities, but the gaming community specifically has always had a problem with misogyny. Like it's a man thing, it's a guy thing. Women shouldn't play. And it's just ridiculous. If we want our communities to get better, if we want them to be fun, if we want to not have to play the same types of strategies over and over and over again, we need to include people from diverse backgrounds into our communities. They're going to approach the game differently. They're going to play the game differently. They're going to play the characters differently because they've had to think differently in different situations. They might not react the same way in a 50-50 situation that someone else might. They might not react the same way to your pressure. They might come up with an entirely new way to use the character that you never even thought of because they're just used to thinking about things differently. So like we want more diversity, but I really think this specific group of gamers, it's not all of them, which is why it's not really good to use blanket labels, because whenever you try to, then you also cast into that net, those people in the middle who probably voted for Trump because of the economy. Like you get those people in the middle who also fit that demographic but don't quite understand that, like, if it didn't apply to you, it wouldn't hurt your feelings. Like you would be educated enough to know that, like, I'm using this to describe, like, because once you label them, like, they either try to escape the label or it brings in another group. There's a very specific type of gamer that this is, though, and that's who we need to get out of gaming. These people, they're not real gamers. They're not real gamers. They are just using gaming as a vehicle for their elitism, as a vehicle for their misogyny. When they say they want to escape from reality, they want to exist in a world where people with certain identities don't exist. That's why they can tolerate fairies and minotaurs and magic and all that stuff. But their belief, their suspension of disbelief stops at black people or gay people or trans people. We need to get them out of gaming. And I really think that they're just going to continue to out themselves as they start having these last cries of just, oh, it's not fair. Like they're just children. This looks like something that a person in high school would write. Honestly, it looks like something that someone in high school would write. And we're just listening to the last death throes, their last cry. Oh, please see me. Why doesn't anybody ever like me? Why doesn't anyone want me? And like the truth of the matter is, this would probably upset him, but like I can see his profile picture. He doesn't look ugly. I know that if women can go after the ghoul from Fallout 4, I know that there's some woman that would find him attractive, but he does not realize that the reason that women don't like him, and a lot of these men don't realize, it's because of you. It's the way that you're acting. And then you go after the same kind of women, you have the same experience, and instead of realizing I'm the common denominator in this situation, you end up blaming all women because it's the safe thing to do. when if you would just learn, never mind, they're not ready for that conversation. Anyway, I just want to weigh in on this because apparently that's what gaming content creators do. This is the level of discourse that we are at. Welcome women and trans people and binary non, but welcome everybody to the gaming community. It at the end of the day, none of those things truly matter. Can you play the game? Are you good at the game? Do you know how to play the game? That's it. That's it. It doesn't matter at this point. And I just, yeah, I really hope that we can level up the gaming community in general and really continue to make this space uncomfortable, unsafe, and just really annoying and frustrating for people like this. So hopefully they'll leave. GG's, y'all. See you soon. Oh, follow me on Twitch at Derek the Mindful Gamer. I'm building a community. Also, I have a video game church. It's called the Church of New Game Plus. You can check it out in the description below. We don't we don't we don't we don't we don't like stuff like this. See y'all later. Bye.